Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is another legendary price point of $250 for this gaming PC, and this time it's not an OEM motherboard, guys. It's not an OEM motherboard. So let's jump right into the build. Starting this build off, we have a CPU and motherboard combo that I drove a really long way for, so hopefully it pays off in this video. We have the FX 8350, which is a CPU clocked at 4 GHz with 8 cores and 8 threads. It does kind of have an older architecture, but it still performs pretty well for it being 2021. As you can see, we have paired with the Asus motherboard. Now let's move on to the next part. And now for the RAM. Of course, we just have a generic set of RAM. I usually do that on this channel, which is just 8 GB of 1333 MHz RAM. And this is 4 sticks of RAM, so it's going to take up all the RAM slots. So if you want to upgrade in the future, you will have to get rid of this RAM and add new RAM to it. But still pretty good for this budget build. Alright, now let's talk about the graphics card. The graphics card of the system is a GTX 580, 1.5 GB. Now, why did I go with a card like this in 2021? Well, what happened was the same person I got the motherboard for was having a bundle deal, which hopefully I'll have a parts hunt video on that soon. But what happened was if I were to buy this with the rest of the GPUs, I would get a little discount on the rest. So I went ahead and bought in bulk anyway. And I'd be surprised that this GPU can still actually perform in games pretty well for those esport titles. Alright, moving on to the CPU cooler. The one on screen I actually did not end up using because I did have to jerry-rig the cable since it used to be a proprietary cable, so I went ahead and twisted the pins and then put some electrical tape around it and made it work, and it did actually spin and it was working, but now the motherboard was not recognizing it. So as you can see on the screen, I ended up using this Vetro cooler that actually cooled extremely well for this system. And here we have the storage for this system. And I normally go with the 120 GB SSD and a 500 GB hard drive for these budget builds, but I happen to have a cheap 1 TB hard drive laying around, so I went ahead and threw it in this system. And you guys know the deal here. You can pick up SSDs for around $15 to $25, and you can pick up 1 TB hard drives for around $10 to $20. And now we have the power supply powering the system. And you know what's really nice is power supplies these days are just so cheap. You can pick up really good deals on around the 400 to 600 watt range. You can get very cheap power supplies like this one for 21 bucks. And here's the fans and the case in this system. And you know you always got to make these budget systems look really nice with these super nice cases. And the fans, the RGB sells PCs, and that's a fact. So here's the case, and you know what, without further ado, let's get in with the build.
Wizard, what do you see as you twist its out beneath our feet? What do you see? One enemy remaining. What do you see?
Alright guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Tell me what you think in the comments. Comment down below, what do you think? Is this worth 250 bucks? Because in my opinion, I do think it is. And would you build something like this? And also, what color do you like better? Do you like it when it's like going through the different colors and it's kind of rainbow? Or what about the red? Because I think the red is just sick. Come on. I think that looks just awesome. But anyway, comment down below what you think of this build, and I will catch you on the next one.